Good morning. I'm Catherine Hallberg with Long Realty. Today I'll be doing the second in my two-part series of the Arizona Purchase Contract. Last time we discussed sections 1 through 5. Today I'll be finishing up with sections 6 through 9. So let's get started. Section 6 addresses due diligence. Once your offer has been accepted, you'll have 10 days to address all your concerns about the home. A licensed professional home inspector will examine your home top to bottom and provide you with a written report concerning suggested repairs, maintenance items, plus tips on maintaining the home once you move in. Other professionals, such as termite inspectors, roof inspectors, or HVAC inspectors, may be employed as well. Now, you're probably thinking, this could be expensive. Well, it's not as costly as repairing problems after you move in. Remember, purchasing a home is one of the biggest investments you'll ever make, so now is not the time to be penny wise and pound foolish. Do not do inspections yourself. Leave it to the professionals. Prior to the end of your inspection period, you'll have the opportunity to submit a list of requested repairs to the seller. They have 5 days to respond. If they say they'll do everything, then great, you're on your way. If they say they'll do some of the items or won't do any, then it comes back to you, and you have 5 days to decide if you want to proceed with the contract. Your realtor can be of great help to you during this period, as they're a good source of licensed professionals and can advise you under which items are essential to have repaired and which might be worth conceding. In the end, it's up to you, whether you want the home or not. Prior to closing, you will have an opportunity to do a final walkthrough. At this point, you'll be checking to see if the agreed upon repairs have been made and if the home is in essentially the same condition as when you placed the offer. Now we're going to move on to section 7, which is an area you hope never to visit. This concerns breaches of contract. Should a party breach the contract, a cure notice will be sent to the offending party, and they'll have 3 days to comply with the terms of the contract. If they fail to do so, the non-offending party may cancel. Should there be an actual contract dispute which arises, everybody goes to mediation. If it's not resolved there, then an arbitrator is assigned and their decision will be binding. However, during the first 30 days of arbitration, either party can opt out and initiate court action. The vast majority of real estate disputes are solved amicably and every party goes their separate way. However, it's good to know that you have legal recourse available to you should you need it. Now we move on to section 8, which is a catch-all for anything not addressed in the rest of the contract. Here is where you can list the items that you want included in the seller concessions, or ask for a clear termite report to be provided, or perhaps ask the seller to repair that large crack in the sliding glass door you noted when you first viewed the home. State your deal killers here, and you won't have to argue about them later. Another item you found here is about timelines. In real estate, every day counts. There are no weekends or holidays. Every day counts. It also states in the contract that if the home is damaged by a natural disaster such as a fire, flood, or hurricane, it's the seller's responsibility to repair the damage, unless the damage exceeds 10% of the purchase price, at which time either the seller or the buyer may cancel. But you probably didn't want the home anymore anyway. Also, once you're under contract, the seller can accept other offers, but they're going to be held in the backup position and not considered unless your transaction fails. Also noted here is that verbal agreements do not count. If there are any subsequent agreements or documents to the purchase contract Everything has to be put in writing, so if it's important to you, be sure it's in writing. It's also noted here that while realtors are good sources for finding information out about the property you're purchasing, they are not experts on the condition of the home or financing. Advice about these areas should be obtained from professionals with experience in that particular area. Also found in Section 8 is the date and time for contract acceptance. Should the seller fail to meet the appointed time, the offer is considered to be rescinded. In real estate, time is of the essence, so be sure that you respond within the time constraints to any document or condition of the contract during your transaction. The end of Section 8 and Section 9 is where the parties sign the purchase contract. Also found there is the contact information for both agents. If everybody signs, fantastic, you're under contract. However, if the seller checks the box on line 467, this means a counteroffer is attached and negotiations continue onward until there is a meeting of the minds or either party quits and walks away. Should the seller check the box on line 473, this means your offer is rejected outright and it's back to the drawing board for you. Purchasing or selling a home can be a time of joy for both the buyer and the seller. However, neither party should lose sight of the fact that a large amount of money is being exchanged, and everybody needs to understand the purchase contract and take it seriously. Read the document carefully. Your realtor should be able to help you every step of the way. This concludes my discussion of the Arizona purchase contract. I hope you found the information to be helpful. If you have any questions or perhaps need some help, feel free to contact me. Don't be afraid of this document. Just follow the steps outlined and you'll be in your new home before you know it. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to my videos. Now we move on to Section 9, which is where everybody signs. Here, the seller and buyer both sign the contract. You'll also find the buyer's and seller's agent's contact information here as well. If everybody signs, great, you're under contract. However, if the seller checks the box on line 467, this means that a counteroffer is attached and negotiations continue onward until there's a meeting of the mind or one party quits and walks away. If the seller checks the box on line 473, this means that they reject your contract outright. That means it's back to the drawing board for you. Buying or selling a home can be a time of great joy for both the buyer and the seller. However, neither party should lose sight of the fact that a large amount of money is being exchanged. So both parties need to understand the contract and take it seriously. Read the contract thoroughly. Your realtor can be of great use here, as they will go through every step of the contract with you and be sure you understand it. This concludes my two-part series on the Arizona purchase contract. I hope you found the information to be useful, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions or perhaps need help. Don't be afraid of this document. Just follow the steps outlined and you'll be in your dream home before you know it. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to my videos.